A pleasure to meet y'all at last, and welcome back to films I'm willing to talk about again. And it's now about that time where I do feel that there's probably not a lot of Jim Carrey involved. So as I've discussed before with other such films, like National Treasure, I feel like that it would be about time to go ahead and move on to something a little bit more unusual. One that is at least 10 years old now. Mr. Popper's Penguins, released in 2011. It stars the almighty Jim Carrey as a posh, successful real estate individual who does in fact live in an apartment in Manhattan. But it turns out that the almighty, amazing Jim Carrey's character in this film has a father who passed away. But just before then, Mr. Popper receives a rather surprising gift. A huge collection of live penguins. Now that only makes you wonder, if you could ever have one gift to ever receive from a late great member of your family, then what could it possibly be? This is probably one of the only rare occasions where the last will and testament that's been served by a late comer in the family, a person whom is in fact about to enter the brink of death itself. It only makes you wonder, what could you ever put together as your last will that could state that anybody receives whatever you have? The way I see it, the way my life's going through right now, I might not be able to live much longer. And that's just so happening because of all the things that we've been having to go through lately. There's no doubt in my mind that anything wrong could take place, and it will not be pretty. In any case though, this film actually does circulate on a very, very, very well-known phenomenon, where some people received unexpected gifts and surprises from their now deceased relatives. In this particular situation, you have Jim Carrey, who now has to take care of a bunch of penguins. And this film actually does give you quite a number of things that can help give you your money's worth. Even if you were to watch it on digital, video on demand, or streaming platforms like Netflix or Hulu, it would probably be best that you actually go ahead and check this out, because the penguins in this film especially are just loads of fun. However, that's not really to say that this film had actually gotten so successful over the years, because it unfortunately was able to fall at only an average box office scoring of $187 million. And like a lot of films that I've talked about since this series began, average ratings. And so, this is just yet another case of something like that happening. But in any case, I do feel that other than some of the minor pieces that unfortunately made this film the true aspect of its success, I do feel like that everything here was actually captured very well. From the time the penguins first arrive in Mr. Popper's apartment, to the time where the penguins are indeed causing havoc of all sorts, rampaging around the house, stealing the food, and probably my favorite and most memorable scene that I feel happened in the entire film, turning the bathroom into a giant swimming pool for the penguins to swim in. Now I feel that they must have gone out of their way to pretty much turn an apartment into a giant penguin zoo where anybody could get their money's worth just by watching this film. That one scene alone is what I could probably recall the most, because I haven't really watched it in a long time, but yet I do feel like I was able to get the details fresh in my mind after remembering hard enough. But I do feel that this could have actually been done a little bit better. The writing and screenplay probably could have had some major adjustments put to it, and maybe some editing portions, as some of the sound that's in this film does get a little overloaded at times, when it really doesn't have to be. That only makes you wonder if there's any kind of film out there that could actually be done better. Who knows? But in any case though, it's the same old Jim Carrey entertainment that you could probably never get elsewhere. There's been lots of Jim Carrey films we've had in recent years, and I do feel like that with the upcoming Sonic the Hedgehog sequel, that film alone has pretty much cemented my love and respect towards this one man who is now 60 years old. Yeah, This guy turned 60 this past January. And so, by all accounts, are we to simply look for the best? Jim Carrey's 60th birthday happened here in 2022, and more importantly, Sonic the Hedgehog was amazing. Probably one of the best films I've seen this whole decade so far. And in addition to that, because there's going to be a sequel, I could probably only expect this to be even better than the first. Will that ever happen? Well, we still have until next month in April to find out exactly what happens. And more importantly, how does it stack up compared to the first one? In any case though, Jim Carrey, no matter what film there is out there, this might just be one of the more average picks that you might see, but at least for a Jim Carrey film, it does alright, by any means. It still is a watchable movie, compared to a lot of the crap that I have talked about in the past. And so, that's just pretty much my whole take on that. But if you want to see more, go down to my channel, then make sure that you keep a lookout for more stuff. Also, like, subscribe, comment, follow me on social media, and stay on the Hollywood side.